to hear some noise tonight. You're just seconds away from Let's Go Blues Radio.
No doubt about it, eh? You're listening to Kurt, Bill, and Jeff on Let's Go Blues Radio, the original St. Louis Blues hockey fan podcast. Take it away, boys.
Come on, St. Louis hockey fans, stand up and cheer. The Blues are back strong. This is our year. It's the Blues' turn now.
I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Yeah, it's the Blues' turn now. With that Al McKinnon slap shot, you know we can't lose. We are St. Louis, the home of the Blues. Come on, St. Louis. Come on, St. Louis. Come on, St. Louis.
Let's do that hockey.
Come on, St. Louis. All over the hockey universe, the note is the news. Everybody's digging on the St. Louis Blues.
Welcome to Season 7, Episode 8 of Let's Go Blues Radio. It was 9 p.m. and we had a power outage literally right at 9 p.m. So it's 9:20 right now. And we are finally live on Wednesday, August 15th, 2018. This is franchise episode number 141 all the time. My name is Kurt Price. My Twitter handle is @KurtPrice. Bill Day is to my left. His Twitter handle is @BillyBlueNote. And Jeff Ponder is with us remotely. His Twitter handle is @JPonder94. If you want to send the show a tweet, send it to @LGB Radio, and we'll try and read it live on the air. If you want to talk hockey with us on the show, we'll try and up the show for listeners midway through later on, assuming we have time, which hopefully we will. So please check out the letsgoblues.com shop and consider buying a reasonably priced shirt, mug, or sticker. All proceeds go back into supporting the show. And Jeff and Bill, it's been about a month, something like that.
Feels that way, except for Jeff. Jeff's on every week,
Right.
People have to listen to me. I'm forcing them to listen to me.
Jeff's been doing the summer interview series on Let's Go Blues Radio, which has gone quite well.
Yeah, I was enjoying the Donny Fandango episode tonight. Loved all the music talk.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun for me because I haven't been able to talk a lot of other stuff outside of hockey, which is fine because I like talking hockey, as people can imagine, since I've been doing it all summer. But yeah, that, and then when I had Jim Cromer on from the Blues NHL podcast, we talked a lot of Cardinals that episode. So that's kind of been surprisingly the most fun part for me, is being able to podcast about other things other than the St. Louis Blues.
And what do you got coming up next week? Anything?
We're working on having Smash and Gene Ackman, who are mentioned every week, because of the great show open that we're using. They're going to come on and talk about the creation of their show, and then anyone who's followed Smash throughout his career when he was on the radio, KC95. I don't want to say KLOU first because everybody will chastise me.
I would.
Yeah. He's been a great blues fan, great St. Louis sports fan. Written a bunch of sports songs, so should be a lot of fun having him on. Working on that, don't know for sure, but also might have Lance from the Drop Podcast on, which is everyone's favorite blues podcaster, besides Bill Day.
Right. I was going to say Bill and then Lance.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to email him some questions for the show.
Why don't you just take the interview?
He lives right around the corner from us, I think.
Yeah, he does. He lives in town. He lives in the same town as us. So it's Troy, Illinois is the hotbed of hockey podcast for the Blues. Everyone knows that.
Right. Of course. Cam Jansen. I talked to him earlier, not to drop a name here.
He lives in Troy too.
Yeah. Well, no, he asked me, he goes, "Are you in Kirkwood? You're in Kirkwood, right?" And I'm like, I guess maybe we've mentioned it on the show. So I guess Kirkwood's another hockey hotbed.
The official beers episode 141. Let's go, Bill. What do you got?
I have a very that seemed very like
No, it's a very involved.
Kurt really had to think about who was getting the first beer shout out.
Well,
this
I
week.
I actually can't wait for you to describe yours. So with your pairing and everything. So
oh yeah. Well, unfortunately, I didn't plan well enough, and I hope that you had the proper pairing, which string cheese isn't going to do it.
String cheese is not a hard cheese. It is a fairly soft cheese.
It is. It is.
It's no brie.
Soft cheese. That was Bill's college hockey nickname, wasn't it?
One of them. No, my beer of tonight's episode is an offering by Four Hands. Picked this up a couple of weeks ago. They had a couple bottle offerings that night. Father Time was the main one, barley wine, bourbon barrel aged. And then this one is Cascara, which is coffee cherry, sour beer aged in Zinfandel wine barrels with coffee cherries. It's actually really good. The suggested pairing is soft cheese.
Right. And there's a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of stuff going on with that beer.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you're supposed to have soft cheese.
Yeah.
So beer is a lot of work nowadays.
It is. And instead of soft cheese, I'm going with Trader Joe's Churro Bites,
Which is
the greatest snack food of all time.
I did offer Tootsie Rolls, but
No,
those aren't soft cheese either.
No.
So, Jeff, what is your beverage?
Well, I'm not as fancy as you guys, I guess. I'm kind of here getting ready for hockey season. I've been drinking up my summer beer as much as I can. But I've got the Oktoberfest from Schlafly, which is, for my money, one of the best Oktoberfests in St. Louis. Just your typical Oktoberfest taste, but just really rich, as is all of Schlafly's fine products. So if you've never had a Schlafly Oktoberfest, get yourself out to a liquor store and pick one up. They come in pint size, which is nice.
I think I got you all beat.
Hitch's hat would agree.
I do. Hitch's hat would.
Sorry, Mr. Blue's hat.
Mr. Blue's hat. Who is that? I'm sporting the Bud Light Orange tonight. That's right.
I don't know why I podcast with you.
You know, it's light lager brewed with real orange peels with natural citrus flavors. Real orange peels. Real Mr. Blue's hat. Real orange peels. So,
in spite of Kurt's beer selection, I do want to say, I know that professionally we're not supposed to do this, but I don't care. New show open was beautiful. Thank you again to Smash and Gene Ackman for that. So that's going to be all season. So the summer interview series had a nice little parlay into the new open. Yeah, it's
we've got our standard, our signature Tom Calhoun customized intro for us, and then we change it up every season with something different. And I was really digging the Smash "Let's Go Blues" song, so which is old. But
it's a classic. I mean, for me, like I always say, it was my heyday when that song came out. But all the blues songs that we've had on the show, the one we have in the close, which is great, all great. But for me, for my money, "Let's Go Blues" by Smash is probably the best one.
We have a good one at the end of our show too.
Yeah, the St. Louis Blues. St. Louis Blues.
About St. Louis.
And so to also continue doing something you're not supposed to do, they teach you this in all kind of broadcasting schools. But we're going to keep bragging on ourselves. Kurt, for those of you watching, your setup behind you there is kind of brand new. Looks great. If only we could flip the camera around and show you the other wall, because I've seen that and it's fantastic too.
The studio here is studio/office is decked out in most of my blues memorabilia. So a lot of stuff's on the walls, and I'll throw up some pictures to give like a couple. It's just it's fun stuff. It's a lot of old stuff, not old, but some old stuff.
Yeah,
it's got a nice mix, I think. So
it's gorgeous. You got the 3 autograph pictures: Chase, Liut, Plager, Bob Plager, that is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's such a wide array of stuff in here. You've got you guys watching the YouTube can see right behind Kurt the All-Star Game ice bucket, because it's ice hockey.
Yeah,
so
that's a good. I
bucket.
never put that 2 and 2 together with the ice bucket, ice hockey.
Yeah,
now it makes sense why there's a 39th All-Star Game in St. Louis bucket. But it's
I cannot see the bucket.
It's out of camera view.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, but there's I got a framed newspaper of Crown Beans OT goal to put the Blues into the conference finals.
You have a St. Louis Blues painter's hat from when Brett Hull had a hat trick and scored number 55.
Broke Wayne Babbich's record for most goals by
right winger
for the Blues.
Bill, you got to stop pointing out stuff that's not on camera. I'm getting jealous.
Well, this is for the podcast people too that just listen. So,
yeah.
And let's go ahead and brag on me too. My little setup here. I got a new angle for those looking. Like you can actually see my microphone now, which before you couldn't. So it shows, hey, that guy's actually kind of professional. And then we've got a couple of my own little designs back here. My Brett Hull 500 Goal Club member plaque, my Mikita banner, and a bunch of other stuff. So stay tuned for when we start doing the live episodes more, because there will be more enhancements by the time the season starts. And I know that is what's most exciting about Let's Go Blues Radio.
Like a teaser for people to see exactly what you've got on your walls, new additions week to week.
Yep, exactly.
And who can wait for my dog licking my face for an episode when I can't make it over here?
That was a fun test last night. We did a little test before this, and Bill had his dog was going to town.
The YouTube chat is interesting here. We got some folks who are joining us. Let's see. Gosh, this is quite the conversation already. My God. Okay, Ray Standeffer from he's from the bluesrants.com site, the new the startup news blues site in the off season, or no, last season they started, right? Was it last season?
I think it was last season. I'm sure they'll correct us. I think all their writers pretty much listen to us.
I think it was the second half of last season, or maybe just I'm not sure, but they were around last year. So, and they say hi. He's drinking a milk, by the way. Yeah, and Mr. Blues Hat says yawn. He's bored.
Why do we invite that guy to listen?
I don't know. We should. If I could ban him somehow, I would.
Please do.
And apparently, and Sarah on the chat says most of us are Blues Rants guys. So I was wondering if I guess women don't mind being called one of the guys. So I guess that's unless it's a guy named Sarah.
Ooh, it's a lady.
Boy named Sue. Today in Blues history, courtesy of the @STL Blues History Twitter account, August 15th, nothing. I got nothing. He posted nothing today, and I did a search and I couldn't find much of anything. So, it's August, and aside from maybe the Blues signing somebody, there's going to be nothing. So,
I got something. You guys ready? Hopefully, you got the music playing for the podcast, people, because we do have something.
Okay.
Are you ready? You guys ready?
Yeah.
On this day, August 15th, 2018, the Blues announced their new color analyst on the radio. So next year, we can talk about that.
Well, we've already used it, though, now. You've ruined it.
Yeah, but we're not going to... But no, it's still going to be great. In a year, you think people are going to care what we talked about now?
We should just write these down because we'll use them every year.
We have like 4 listeners.
What if we don't do a show on August 15th next year?
Well... I'm going to write it down. We're going to do a show on August 15th next year.
More than a million.
We're doing it August 15th, and we're doing a show.
Sarah says she's the token chick for Blues Rants. So the Blues did have an announcement today. They brought in Joe Vitale in to replace Kelly Chase as the KMOX color commentator for the St. Louis Blues this season. He is a CBC alum. Bill, yeah. So it's Bill. Yes. I'm sure they're both up on the wall for hockey achievements, yes, the same amount.
Probably not the same amount, but my name does appear on the wall in the CBC gym.
Is it
So-
for like tardies?
Hey, how about this? Your name probably appears before his, right? Is it alphabetical?
It's by year, so it definitely appears before his.
There you go. There you go, Bill.
So maybe Bill can score an interview with Joe Vitale at some point, being a co-CBC alumni. Vitale won 3 Mid-States Club Hockey Association championships at CBC, including 2 undefeated seasons. He also won a national title for the St. Louis Junior Blues before heading to Northeastern University to play hockey. He was drafted into the NHL in 2005 at 195 overall by the Penguins, same year as Crosby. And he made his NHL debut in 2009, 4 years after Crosby. And he scored 11 goals and 33 assists and also won the Stanley Cup that year with Pittsburgh. His career was spent mostly on the 4th line for Pittsburgh and Arizona. Concussions ended his career prematurely. After the 2015-2016 season, while playing for Arizona, he suffered a fractured orbital bone while fighting Boston's Kevin Miller in the final game of the season, or the first game of the season. I tweeted this out earlier today, and did you see the video, Jeff, of the fight?
Yeah, I remember watching it years ago when it happened.
He takes 4 or 5 shots in the fight, but the last one is the one that did him in, and you can tell. I mean, his head's going forward and the fist is coming towards him, and it doesn't glance off his face. It just hits him solid, and he just crumples into Miller's arm. So I was like, yeah, that was it.
That's one of those. I remember Reed Simpson with the Blues. He fought somebody on the Kings. I don't remember who it was, whoever their tough guy was at the time. And I remember him just getting destroyed. It was a 1 punch, and him just collapsing to the ice. And just those are hard to watch. I mean, as much as I love fighting, those are always hard to watch.
And that's something you don't see too often. You don't see the concussions from fighting. You don't see the careers getting ended from fighting. You see the cheap shots that end careers, but you don't see the 2 guys going at it. And that's kind of the whole, they talk about that in the Ice Gladiators and everything. That doesn't happen often, but it did there. So anyhow, he was traded to Detroit in 2016 after this fight, but never played there because of lingering concussion issues. And he retired in July of 2017. And now he is the color broadcaster on KMWX to complement Chris Kerber.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say he pulled a Bernie Federko. He got traded to the Red Wings and said, "Yeah, I'm not going to play for them." That's what that's the real story.
But Federko did play for them, though.
Yeah, but only to finish out his career. Right. He probably could have continued playing, I think.
The Red Wings go down. They say that's one of the worst trades in their history. The oats for Federko. It was Federko and someone else, wasn't it? Who was it? I thought it was Federko and somebody else.
Yeah, too long ago. Too long ago.
But anyway, that should be good. He local guy, so that's kind of fun. He's got a picture of his family and himself wearing Blues jerseys and everything. So he's a fan of the team. So that's kind of nice to see that he he's not some outsider coming in and is going to be, you have to wonder as a fan, gosh, is he faking his enthusiasm on the radio? So no, it should be fairly genuine, I would imagine. So he grew up here, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bill.
I was going to say, I watched the, they had I don't know if it was the reveal, but they had an interview between Kerber, Chase, and Vitale on KMLX today, and I watched that this evening. And Chase made a couple of really great points. This is a guy who still would be playing if it weren't for the concussion. So he knows guys in the league. He's going to fit right in going in to do interviews in the locker room. It's, and he seemed to have a good presence. He seemed to have a good voice, and I'm excited about this. He wasn't on our radar. We were kind of discussing, via text, our fears of what was going to happen, and this was not just, none of us even speculated that this could be a possibility. And I think this is great. I think Chris Kerber did a great job. I'm excited to once again listen to the radio.
Yeah, I something that I said, because like you said, Bill, we were all kind of speculating, and obviously I know many hockey circles, whether it's fan of Blues or people who play hockey, and speculations were rampant. The names that kept coming up: Terry Yake, Jamie Rivers, Cam Jansen, guys who have done the broadcasting before, but not obviously to the level Kelly Chase has. And my first thought when I heard, 'cause I actually listened to the announcement on KMOX today. My first thought when I heard Joe Vitale, which first of all, like you said, wasn't on my radar at all. I had no idea. I knew he lived in St. Louis because Steve Alberts, friend of the show, Center Ice Brewery guy. If you haven't been there yet, what is wrong with you? I know he plays with them every Tuesday morning. So I knew he was in town, but it just never clicked into my head that he was a possibility to take this over. But the first real thought in my head was, this guy has no radio experience. Maybe, since he's left the NHL, he's studied up on it, and, maybe he's worked with some people, but it made me nervous. But then I thought, who else didn't have radio experience going into that position? Kelly Chase. And I think that turned out pretty well. Kelly Chase, say what you want about him, but he is beloved in St. Louis just as much for his radio calls as much as for when he was a fighter, for my money. He did a fantastic job. The fans love him, and just a passionate guy. I mean, a blueser for life. And I think you're going to be able to say the same thing about Joe Vitale. So I'm very excited to see what he's going to bring to the radio booth.
I assume the Blues brought him in to do like a trial run, kind of to see how he sounds and how he would call a game, or how he would color a game. And so I mean, he's not going to go in, complete virgin to the microphone, I guess. But I would assume okay, well, you've got a decent voice and you can color a game. So that's, we'll go with that. And I was taken aback by it, like you said, off the radar. Just because, like you said, other guys have had radio experience and broadcasting experience, but you'd think that those guys would be considered, and they were. But I think he'll do fine. He sounds fine. He's got a face for TV.
He does.
He does not have the face for radio. But we tweeted out suggestions of who people wanted to be the color guy. Goofy suggestions or not. And Juan Ponce de Leon tweeted, "My money is on Rob Ramage and his famous tagline, 'Back upstairs to you guys.'"
That's
which I loved.
That got me rolling pretty good.
And so somebody was looking for a video clip of Rob Ramage coming back from a commercial or a clip, and not knowing the camera's on him for about 3 or 4 seconds, and just like looking around, which he was famous for.
Hopefully they don't let him drive to the rink.
Oh,
too soon.
No.
Too soon? That was like 15 years ago.
Asshole you are. He did his time.
Somebody died, Jeff.
Yeah, somebody died.
Whatever, you Illinois losers. Stop having your power outages.
The statute of limitations apparently expires on, child molestation, but not when it comes to someone killing somebody else in a car wreck. That's apparent.
What are you talking about? Why'd you bring up child molestation?
Priest thing with the kids in Pennsylvania. You hear about that?
Oh, okay.
Was it Pennsylvania?
All right. I got you.
Yeah, Pennsylvania. Right. 1,000 kids were like, yeah. So anyhow,
let's not get into that. Let's stick with Joe Vitale.
Throw them all in jail, and let's move on. But yeah, we had a few other suggestions. Juan Ponce de Leon's letter says, seriously though, he likes Terry Yake. If we couldn't get Joe Micheletti, which Joe Micheletti is like the cream of the crop to me for color guys, and we had him at one time, which he just left, went away.
Wilson and Micheletti to me was one of the most solid teams I've ever heard in hockey.
We talked about
when Wilson cared. Yeah,
we talked about Wilson before that, and early to mid of later in his career, he mailed it in, and it was obvious. He was, you'd hear him talk with him and Federico.
Right.
It was a terrible. They'd go off on telling stories like non-hockey related stuff during the game, during play, and it's like, come on, let's focus on the game a little bit. And Wilson didn't prepare like he should have, and he kind of mailed it in. Thought he was very good in his day, but he kind of got arrogant. And
I mean, he made his name at calling the Monday Night Miracle. I mean, that was early on in his hockey career, and that was an ESPN game. That wasn't a St. Louis broadcast.
Yep.
And St. Louis loved it so much that when, we lost Dan Kelly, he was the guy they brought in.
He's good. He was fantastic.
He was great.
Oh, baby.
Great until he got lazy over Oh Baby.
Yep. And playing hockey with my brothers, whether it was a rod hockey or in the driveway or whatever, it was always Oh Baby when you score or make a good play. That's what it was every time. So, and let's see, Ponda, you said Wayne Hagen.
Yeah.
If you can adapt, you can kiss that one goodbye into hockey.
Then we got into some really weird stuff there.
Well, I said Bob Carpenter, but if it was him, you get 2 minutes of silence after the other team scored. Dustin Paul, friend of the show, said Jamie Rivers.
Might I add a good-looking friend of the show?
Right, yeah.
I want to point that out.
Championship-winning captain of your tournaments there.
He looks good. He's lost some weight. He's been doing some healthy things, so he's looking good. Probably in the best shape of his life.
Rick Mester says Herbert the Pervert from Family Guy. Who is that? I don't know who that is.
Oh, that's the old guy in Family Guy that has a crush on Chris.
All right, yeah. Okay.
Where wasn't the paperboy? Come and see me in a while.
Bluesrants.com says the dude from Shane Company. Okay. And Fabrice Harris said he'd love it if it was Jamie Rivers. Dylan Creighton says he wanted to go with Rodney D. Young.
Why not Zipper Zeppa?
Zip Zeppa?
I can't even talk.
Are you Logan from the Old Drop podcast? Trying to say Federico?
What was he calling him?
Federico. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I think that's about. There were some others, I think, maybe, but let's move on.
No, congrats to Joe Vitale. I know he's listening. That's a no. That's. I mean, I'm actually very excited to hear him because, like you said, he's a St. Louis boy, roots here, and always lived here in the summers when he was in the NHL, and really just a kind of a promising player. It's a shame his career ended so soon. He was a great third, fourth line guy for the Penguins. I don't know if you guys saw. I mean, I know you're going to say, what would he say? But they asked Sidney Crosby what he thought about Vitale getting this position. Did you guys see that?
Saw that. Yes.
And he wished him luck and said that he was a great locker room guy, which, I mean, again, what are you going to say? It's not like Sidney Crosby's going to be like, yeah, I hated that guy. I'm glad he's not playing anymore. But at the same time, I mean, to get praise from arguably the greatest player in the NHL, that's high praise.
If you asked Brett Hull that question and he didn't like the guy, he might not sugarcoat it quite so much, but
that's true.
I did dig on his takes because he was brutally honest sometimes, which was great. You don't hear that much anymore with players. It's always like the towing the company line and being PC, and you love to hear players just speak their mind. Who cares if they get in trouble? I don't.
What do you? What did he say? Didn't he say once that he doesn't understand why people watch hockey? It's a stupid sport.
Oh, because the clutching and grabbing that was going on.
Yep. Yeah.
Which
it's brutal Brett Hull right there.
Not a point. I mean, that's why they did change the rules after that.
Yep.
So first off the bat, there's the Blues are going to release the third jersey at the what's it called? The Icebreaker event later this month, 26th, I think it is, August, at Ballpark Village. And so, okay, so there's a few things. I'm shocked. I'm pretty sure you guys are in the same boat with this. I'm shocked at the number of people online that are all about wanting to bring back the late '90s Gretzky era jersey.
Who was it Blues Rants that tweeted was it like for this and was it retweet for this?
Yeah.
And I think the like was the Winter Classic and the retweet was the clown jersey, as we call it.
Yeah.
And the clown jersey had way more votes.
I know. I don't get that at all.
What? What's wrong? Any of you listening? I'm sorry. I don't want to alienate you, but if you voted for the clown jersey, are you watching the same games from the 90s? Is it just a nostalgia thing? Is it a young kids not actually seeing those jerseys on the ice thing? Ugh, no, thank you.
I think it's a reflection of the larger fashion world, Jeff, where early to mid 90s is all the rage with the millennial kids these days. It's probably beyond millennials at this point, but yeah, I've been seeing all kinds of stuff that I hoped I would never see again.
I know
in fashion. It drives me nuts.
They were called the clown jerseys for a reason.
Yes,
because they were awful. They were awful then. They're awful now, especially the darks. At least the whites were tolerable. Is that going to be a clip later that we're going to use? Thank you.
It's going to be a clip that you're going to use later.
It was the homes. We wore home whites at the time, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, home whites.
Yeah. So the home jerseys were they didn't have near as much red, but the aways they had that huge field of red at the bottom. That ugly.
Yeah.
You know, the Blackhawks were red. The Red Wings were red. They were in our division. We're not red. Brett Hull even had a comment on air on TV when he was asked about the jerseys. He was like, "We're the St. Louis Blues. What's with all the red?" So I didn't. Yeah.
So the era before that had just a slight bit of red. What I consider the Brendan Shanahan era of the St. Louis Blues.
Okay, good.
Right.
Or the Nelson Emerson.
Yes.
Yes.
Cujo.
Yeah.
When he first came up.
Right.
Tom Tilley
wore that jersey for
Guy Bear.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm going to deep cuts here.
Yes.
But
Doug Lidster.
No, I think Lidster was clown era.
Was he? I think he was. Yeah, he was clown era.
All right, let's solve this.
It was subtle. It was acceptable. The clown jersey blew it way out of proportion. And yeah, so let me ask you guys this. Is there a player's name that comes to mind when you think of clown jersey? Because I have one.
Gretzky. I think Gretzky.
You think Gretzky?
Mm-hmm.
I think Adam Creighton.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, that's one for me.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the only jersey Gretzky wore when he was here. I guess Creighton probably too, right? So, yeah. I mean, Gretzky in his 38 games or whatever it was, or
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Adam Creighton. I said this before, but you could turn this whole clown jersey third sweater movement into a movie where the adults who lived through the horror of those jerseys in the late 90s, gather them all up and buried them somewhere near the Grand Basin in Forest Park. But now the youngins today who didn't live through that horror show of an era, they think that they'd be nostalgic and are trying to dig them up to reveal that scourge on the population again. And then the adults will come to the rescue in the end and save the day or whatever. That's a movie plot to me, is that these kids today, they don't know the hell that was those jerseys when they actually wore them on the ice. We got rid of those things and now they're trying to bring them back. And they don't know. They don't understand.
Can you guys see my screen right now?
I can. Let me bring it over here.
So it looks like Mr. Lidster wore both jerseys.
Oh,
okay.
I was incorrect.
So we were both correct. So we're good.
All right.
Got some inception going on here for you. Okay, so I was gonna say that about 10 years ago, when ugly sweater parties were all the rage, and I guess they still are Christmas time, I didn't have one. I liked. So I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to get drunk tonight anyway because I'm a college kid. And I just threw on the old Blues dark jersey with the clown jersey. I went to a party with most of the people there not being Blues fans, either Cardinals fans or people from out of town, because it was at SLUs, so a lot of people from Illinois and that kind of thing. And I won the ugly sweater party because that jersey is so hideous that people said, yeah, you win. Is that a real jersey? Yes, it's a real jersey. The worst part for me was the diagonal lines and how the numbers on the back, one was bigger than the other.
Yeah.
And I remember McKinnis's specifically, the line at the bottom of the 2 went downward.
Yeah.
It was hideous.
It was bad.
Yes.
Ugh. And I don't want any variation of that. None of it. Get rid of it. Let's forget that was ever a part of Blues history.
So did you own that jersey that you put on?
I got a couple. Yeah.
Oh.
I was a kid, man. My uncle for my birthday one year got me a Pronger jersey. That was my first Pronger jersey. I own a McKinnis. That was my first Blues jersey. Was a McKinnis in the red. That was the first year they had them. And then I think that might be it. But yeah, I have 2 of them. I have a white and a dark, unfortunately.
I refuse to buy that jersey.
Yes, so did I.
My brother has one. It was a home white. So the better of the 2, the lesser of 2 evils, if you will. Yeah, and I actually got into an argument on Twitter. You know, the intelligent kind, an online argument, with a guy. We were talking about the Blues thirds, and I was basically called an idiot for not liking them, and he said, you probably don't like the Anaheim Ducks original jerseys either because they had the diagonal stripe too. And with the originals, they had the original Ducks jerseys. They had the diagonal stripe, right?
The originals, wasn't that the one with the duck with his arms in the air?
No, that was their ugly third.
Oh, was it? Okay. Well, then yeah, the other one, then yeah, that was the diagonal striped one.
Yeah. And he goes, you probably don't like that one either. And I said, you know, nostalgia wise, it's nice. I like the nostalgia portion of it, but it's not a good jersey design. It's a diagonal stripes don't belong on a hockey jersey ever. When I see it, I think, oh, you know. I enjoyed hockey, and it was I enjoyed hockey in a cool way back then, you know, grade school, high school kind of thing. And but it's not a good design. And then I'm called an idiot again. So I'm like, you know what? Some people do not have do not understand what makes a good hockey jersey. You keep the thing simple. Always have simple logo, simple stripes, horizontal. Don't fuck it up, and don't get stupid. And when you get stupid and crazy and diagonal and fancy and guitar strings and everything all over the jersey no. Hockey, but sports jerseys in general shouldn't be complicated. They should be simple, and the simple ones are always the best every time, and they sell the best.
As much as I hate saying it, the Chicago Blackhawks have great jerseys, and there's a reason they never change them.
Well, their Indian head. My cousin and I had a discussion the other day about what constitutes a good logo is something that as a kid you can draw fairly easily, right? And that makes a lot of sense. But most of the time, Blues logo, even though you see some goofy variations of it, it's a logo. It's a Blues logo. The Flyers, the Red Wings is detailed, but the general shape is fine. The Blackhawks, the Indian head's probably a pain in the ass to draw for a kid. You can't draw that. But the design, but the jersey layout is great. It's always been that way. It's just, it's simple.
Right.
It's simple.
Montreal Canadiens.
Montreal Canadiens. Exactly. Same thing.
Simple. Been around forever.
Yep. Toronto.
Yeah.
And do you guys like the yeah, let's bring that forward. What do you mean? The
Boston Bruins.
Is that a coaster?
Yeah. So I made this in 7th grade. This is me. I made this. And it's the coaster that I use in my office. And that was my drawing of a Blue Note. I mean, it's obviously beat up, but for those podcasting, I'm literally holding this thing in front of my camera.
It's a coaster.
It's pretty awful.
No, well, it's a Blue Note. It's a blue coaster with a Blue Note painted on it, and I can tell what it is. Now, if you were a Chicago Blackhawks fan in Chicago as a kid, and in 7th grade, you tried to draw a Blackhawks head logo on a coaster, it's gonna look like ass. So now, while their logo is classic, and I like it. I'm just total PC stuff aside. Yeah, it's a bitch to draw. the Maple Leafs, there's their 80s 90s leaf, or they're the one that they use a lot of times now with the veins in the leaf and everything. The more leaf looking leaf. What do you like better?
I like the simple 80s 90s.
Me too. I do too. A lot better. Not even close.
Yeah, I mean
it's cleaner.
It's more of a logo,
right?
Yeah.
And what they're using now is more of a throwback to the
Right.
40s, 50s, 60s.
right? But I think they nailed it with the
Right.
80s 90s one. I really do.
Just very very minimalistic, simplistic. Poor grammar.
Yeah, right.
We have some chat here on the YouTubes. Tim Hurst says nobody wants that clown jersey back. Hopefully you're correct.
Well, I do believe that poll beg to differ.
Oh, well, he continues here in a second. Mr. Blues Hat says, I guess because I said I wouldn't alienate the people who voted on that. He says, I'll alienate them. If you like those clown jerseys, you're an idiot. Jesse Hill says, I want a more all-white jersey with a little blue and yellow. Cool with that. Tim Hirsch, jumping off his comment earlier.
Hold on. Sorry, real quick. It's not going to be an all-white jersey, though. The third jersey is going to be dark because it's going to be worn at home. So the third jersey will not be white; it'll be dark. Go ahead.
Do you remember who the team was that did a white third jersey recently?
I don't. Do you, Bill?
Trivia question. There you go.
A white third. Was it the Canadians?
No.
No.
Dallas Stars.
They're Winter Classic.
The Star. Well, it might have been a Winter. Yeah, I'm not talking about the Winter Classic. I'm talking when they first released third jerseys with Reebok, and Dallas had that awful football-looking jersey. They did a white one too. That was a third jersey.
Yeah,
and it was odd because they never really wore them at home. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Yeah, Dallas has some of the worst jerseys in history. The Mooterus.
Yeah, that was. How some of this stuff gets approved, I have no idea. That was a dumb idea.
I like the jerseys now. The Victory Green, I like those.
Yeah, I love the color.
Yeah. To continue, Tim Hirsch from his comment earlier responds also with somebody hacked that poll, so that's possible.
Their Blues rants. Come on.
Yeah. Mr. Blues Hat. I guess when we were talking about what player you think of with those jerseys, he has a good one. Shane Corson.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. And then he also says, damn millennials, which we can all agree on.
Damn millennials. Yeah, well. Yeah, I think there are more people out there that want those jerseys than what the folks in the YouTube chat are led to believe, even though they said the poll was hacked. It boggles my mind. I don't get it. It don't make no sense.
So let's kind of move on a little bit, I think, with the jerseys here. I know that Kurt, in our outline, you posted a bunch of different concepts that we've seen come through, and unfortunately, it's impossible to show those podcasters.
Right.
Go ahead.
No, I would say the first one is the original Blues jersey that never saw the ice, the one that
we talked about with STL Blues history when he was on.
Right. Yes, the ones that came out in '67 that they went the paper, but they didn't. They changed the design to a much better design. So and those jerseys. The only reason I like these jerseys is because of the story behind it. If this jersey were to come out today, and I'd be like, that is a god awful design. That'd be awful. It'd be a terrible hockey jersey. Just the logo is terrible. So that's
the logo is terrible, but I like the piping, the stripes, and the color scheme.
Everything except the logo is great on those jerseys. I dig the rest of it. The rest of it's fine. And I'll go ahead and tweet this out actually because I got those images. So what we're talking about now for those listening on topic on jerseys.
Yeah, I would say while we're talking about this, go ahead and throw in that this is the first one we talked about. This is the second one. For those that want to go back, check out our Twitter feed at LGB Radio, and you can look along with the photos that we're talking about here. But yeah, that original jersey. I mean, okay. Let me just put this out there first and foremost, and I know we're going to get to this. I want the Winter Classics as the third. And if it's anything else, I'm pissed. So let me just put that out there first. Now, having said that, the first choice here, the one that Kurt's tweeting out,
Yep.
I would not mind that. I would be like, okay, that's cool. But again, my answer would be, it's not the Winter Classic.
I've already voiced my opinion on it, so I don't care for it. I would not care for it as jersey. Bill, what's your thoughts?
No. I agree with you. The story behind the original jerseys is great. It's, for the nostalgia, but they were never worn, and I don't think they ever should be worn.
Okay. And okay. So and the second jersey B, if you will, is
a hybrid.
It's a hybrid. It uses the same circular logo that we've been using on the third jersey. I just tweeted it out. The same circular arch and blue note logo that we've had on the third jerseys for the last God knows how many years. And it's a more of a lighter blue, more of a, I don't know, bright blue. And the yellow and white horizontal stripes. I like this jersey. I like it a lot. I don't think they're not gonna. I bet money they're not going to go with the same logo again for the third jersey. That wouldn't make any sense.
No. I like it. I don't like the thick yellow stripe above the thin white stripe on the arm. I think that works well on the bottom of the jersey. I like more balanced striping on the sides. But...
So maybe we should go thick white, thin yellow on the arm. Maybe that would work better.
Yeah, but then move those lower. And
the numbers are white, which I don't like. I want yellow letters on that jersey, I think.
I like this jersey.
I do too.
Again, it's got a kind of that Winter Classic look, just with a different logo. But as I said, I think Two Guys No Cup that have been on the show, they were talking about this jersey. And they kind of brought me into the conversation on Twitter, and I told them what I've heard from numerous people, that Tom Stillman and Dave Checketts did not get along at all. And when Stillman bought the team, one of the things he basically said was, we need to de-Checketts this organization. And one of the things he started doing was phasing out that third jersey, because that was a Checketts jersey. So I do not think, no matter what the jersey design is going to be, it will not be that logo, because that is considered a Checketts logo.
However, according to some folks, Adidas has the final say on jersey design.
All right.
I totally believe it.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Blues do have input on it, but and I'm not sure. I'm not saying that that's the end all be. I'm just saying that's what I've heard from some folks. And I'm sure and that gentleman may be listening right now. I'm not going to call him out, and he can join the show or tweet it out if he's listening and confirm that or not. But yeah, that's what he said. So.
Mr. Blues Hat chimes in on the YouTube chat. Kind of what I was saying. Stillman hates the arch logo. So yeah, I think that's kind of been said but not said. It's one of those things that people know, but it's never really been officially said.
And to be honest about it, I mean, if Stillman hated it or not, it's the same thing we've been using.
Right. It's tired.
Yeah, it's tired. I mean, it's as a third jersey. It's run its course. We need to move on to something else. I mean, it's fine. I like the logo. Not if we're going third jersey, I want to go something different than we've had for the past. How long has it been? 6 years? 5 years?
No, not I believe.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, they debuted those. I think Steen's second year with the Blues. That was a long time ago.
All right. Well, okay, this is the third one, so I'll tweet this out. This is the one we just discussed. The one that, apparently everyone's favorite to be the third jersey, which is just ridiculous.
The clown jersey. We don't need to get back into this. That's actually the same picture I have hanging up on my wall right now. So
it is the exact same one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is the exact same picture.
The dark clown jersey. So
yeah, we've all voiced our opinion on this one already. I'm a no on that.
Pass.
Put out this next one here.
So the next one is the Winter Classic jersey, the actual straight up the Winter Classic jersey, with the old school logo, the white stripes above and below the yellow stripes along the arms and the bottom.
Yeah,
I love this jersey. This is what the third jersey needs to be. If they want to make a variation, more of an Adidas looking stripe or something, fine. But this is my vote. This is the one it should be.
Yeah, I agree. I think, and I think if you were to actually give a poll to every single Blues fan, if that was possible, I think this one win in a blowout. I would hope so. Oh my God, I thought before that online poll would show the same thing, but it did not. I can't believe people would vote against this thing. Well, actually, now that we're on this one, there was a topic online, a discussion about some folks, and there's more than one person said this, is that, well, I don't want the Blues to go with Winter Classic jersey. I already bought that jersey, and so I want to buy a different one. I don't want them to go with that one because I want to buy a new jersey. And other people said, well, if people have already bought that Winter Classic jersey from the Winter Classic, they're not going to buy it again. And I understand that logic. The fans that already have a Winter Classic jersey might not buy another one if it's not, if it's too much the same. But I don't understand the philosophy. I think it's very selfish, honestly, to say that I don't want the Blues to have the Winter Classic jersey because I already have that jersey. And it's like, so you don't care what the Blues are wearing on the ice. You just want them to wear something different so you can buy a different jersey. I'm like, this jersey, they wore it in the Winter Classic and they wore it like 6 or 7 other times during the season. That's it. It's the best jersey we've ever had, I think. And it's in my opinion, this is a crime if it only sees the ice 7 or 8 times. Because if they don't go with it for the for the third jersey this season, it's gone. It's not gonna. I mean, they're not gonna have a different third jersey next year. Maybe they will. I guess they could go different third jersey next year, but they probably won't. If they do the same thing as with the last one, they'll have it for years, and you won't see this again for And then will they go back to it in 6 or 7 years or whenever they change it up again? I don't know. So I think that's selfish. I don't know how else to. I can't imagine someone would just want the Blues to change their entire third jersey concept. Someone would want that so they could just have another jersey in their closet.
Yeah, see, now for me, I would be the opposite because I have one of the Winter Classic jerseys, and if that's going to be the argument, oh, well, okay, let's go buy what you've bought, what you haven't bought. I'm the opposite from those people. I already bought that jersey. I don't want to buy another jersey. I don't want to spend the money on another jersey. So if I don't have to, I'm not going to.
Well, here's the deal too, is that people buy more than one jersey and they get a different name on the back. That happens all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, oh gosh, the Blues have already worn that jersey 7 times and I already own that jersey. So it's like they've had their main jersey and their main home and away jersey for how long now? And people have 2, 3, 4 jerseys, different names on them. Players come and go. They get a new one. And they sign a new free agent. Oh, O'Reilly. Hey, I'll get an O'Reilly jersey. And they get a new jersey. It's the same one they already have in the closet. They buy another one. So I think the whole, I'm not going to buy that jersey again. I don't think they're thinking that through quite the way that it's going to pan out. Maybe.
Yeah. Probably a case of a half-baked tweet.
By a half-baked person.
Yeah, possibly. Some more YouTube chat. Jesse Hill says, third jersey, St. Louis City logo. So I guess he's for keeping the same logo. Mr. Blues Hat says maybe they should do a button-up jersey.
Like all the way down?
Yep. He does say, though, ugly Preds jerseys notwithstanding, I want a yellow third.
Really?
That would be interesting. Just stay away from the yellow hats, which I agree with.
So, okay.
I would be interested to see concepts of a yellow jersey.
I'm not going to crap too much on a yellow concept third jersey. I want to see it first.
Yeah.
But off the top of my head, I'm thinking, nah. I don't know. I want to see one, but I'm guessing I'm not going to like it.
I've never seen a yellow jersey I've loved.
I don't like Nashville's. I don't like their. Maybe it's just too much yellow with the helmets too. I just don't. They overdo it with the yellow.
I think,
and he said it had to be done right.
And even the Penguins, those classic '90s jerseys were great. But I got to be honest, my favorite Penguins jersey is the baby blue.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah. When I think of a jersey that's primary yellow, I think of the Canucks way back.
Oh
in the day.
And that didn't work.
Oh wow, those were ugly.
Yeah. That didn't work either. Every yellow jersey I've seen, so the Canucks and the Predators don't work for me.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Bruins, when they brought the original, not the original, but their first third jersey with the yellow with the bear head
and the black torn bottom kind of.
That's not bad.
That was
a lot of black in that one too, though.
Yeah.
So
that one's not bad, and that was a cool color yellow too. I like that one.
All right. So next up, I'm tweeting this one out. This was a concept jersey put up by someone on Twitter. So they went back with the red. Blue jersey, and I just tweeted it out at LGB Radio if you want to check it out. Blue jersey with white and red stripes. So there's no yellow at all. So that's
it almost looks like the Winter Classic jersey, but red replacing white and white replacing the yellow.
And the standard Blues logo.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And red on the logo itself, red replacing yellow.
I'll pass on that one.
Yeah, again, you don't need red. Brett Hall said it perfectly. Why do we have red in our jersey? We're the Blues. So yeah, I'm passing on that one too.
And the Bill, you would go on this one or no?
No, I am not. Something
I'd wear this one to play roller hockey in.
You know what? Yeah, that's a good roller hockey jersey. I'm with you on that.
So I was trying to look to see if I'm right about this, but something tells me that this is like the St. Louis U had a club. I don't know if it was club or Division II or something in the 70s, and I thought they had something similar to that. I may be 70s is before my time. I may be just making that shit up, but I'm not a fan. I think if there's anything to it, it's maybe an attempt at going for the Cardinals baby blue.
Color. It is that color.
Yeah, and no, not digging it.
And the last jersey up for discussion is the one that caused a lot of commotion, actually.
Yeah.
On Twitter, the one that was put out by Jack Hole. It is a fabricated, photoshopped Carolina Hurricanes third jersey. Colors are changed, stripes are added. And it's the Winter Classic Blue Note logo. It's a darker blue logo, darker blue background, almost black. Looks like the Predators colors.
Mm-hmm.
Blue, yellow, gray shoulders. And it's and this thing was made a lot of rounds online, and the Blues official account even said no, this is not it. It got that much attention, and I think people hated this thing. They were upset, mostly because it's just boring. There's nothing to it. There's nothing. It's just a different color Blues jersey that has no historical significance to the team. They didn't wear this at any point in their history. So
yeah, this was a hard pass for me the minute I saw it. I mean, Kurt, you pointed out, and now that you say it, now that I've seen it again, I see the creases. You mentioned on Twitter the Photoshop job. You can tell that logo was just kind of pasted over the jersey, and you can see that. But even that aside, it's just not a good looking jersey. I'm not a fan, so I would a hard pass on this one.
Look at the stripes on the sleeves too. The white stripes, the exact same wrinkle. It's a stripe that's copied and pasted top to bottom.
Yep.
So that's an easy giveaway. That the thing.
Oh yeah.
Photoshop job. So
yeah.
And plus, if you actually open it up and look at it, you can tell the pasted on logos like the shoulders and everything. They weren't cleaned up very well. They were just, you could see the rough edges. So
yeah, I was having a bad day when you guys shared that with me, and my day got worse after I looked at this.
I shared that. I'm like, I didn't look at it I saw it and I just shared with you guys, said, hey, another concept jersey's out. This guy says it's real. Yeah, that's the thing too. He tried to pass it off as real. He manufactured it and he goes, oh, this just leaked and it's real. And I guess people believed him because, it's online, it's in print. So every Tom, Dick, and Harry believes it.
Well, it did just leak by you. And it's garbage.
Well, it leaked by that guy. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So this came out right after the Blues did that teaser thing with the grayscale image of the portion of the shoulder. And people were thinking, is this a gray jersey? What a gray jersey. And then he posted that with the gray shoulders. And that's what that tied in with the Blues teaser thing, made folks think this was possibly the real thing. So
yeah. Yeah. No, Jeff said it best. Hard pass.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we're all in agreement. The Winter Classic jersey should be the jersey, and that's that.
Unless somebody, unless Adidas can knock it out of the park with something that we haven't seen.
I really hope it's that. I mean, I really hope it's that color blue though from Winter Classic. I mean, I wouldn't mind stripes on the shoulders, like they had back in the day, like the home originals. That's cool. But I really do like that blue. And I really hope they do go with that blue from Winter Classic. They could put stripes on the sleeves, and that might work. But I think they're gonna, if they go off the board from the Winter Classic, yeah, it could be a cool jersey. Hopefully it is if they do that. But I think they're missing the boat with. I think that's gonna upset a lot of people. And I think I said if they go something that's not the Winter Classic and it's not very good, if you don't go Winter Classic, you better go knock out of the park because you might get booed at the icebreaker when they unveil it.
Yeah, we're getting a ton of play on social media here over these. A lot of people just commenting on the jerseys themselves. A lot of no please no's over the red clown jerseys. But one thing we got was from Mr. Blues Hat. He did, and I tweeted it out for those that might be listening and are looking for it. If you don't follow Mr. Blues Hat, it's one of the yellow concepts. And I don't hate it. It's okay. But again, if we're comparing to the Winter Classic and even a couple of other ones we talked about, it's not my favorite. So I would say if that's like something that maybe they throw out, for a jersey you can buy in the store, but they don't actually wear them. Okay, that's cool. But just, I'm not a fan for it being a third jersey.
I see that, and it screams Predators to me.
Yeah.
I can't.
The yellow,
the white's nice, but they're not going to go white for a third. But that yellow one just screams Predators. You slap a Predators logo on it, and it's a Predators jersey. That's the only. I mean, it's not a bad design. It's just I don't like all the yellow. It's just because it's. Maybe I don't like the yellow because I hate the Predators and that's their color. And that's why. So
a couple comments on that. Blogger Fred says to that jersey that Mr. Blues Hat tweeted out, and you people think the red one was ugly? Dustin Paul responds to the red clown jersey with a Steve Carell gif, the GIF as we like to call him. Nope, don't like that. And then just a bunch of people commenting on this right now. Fabry's Hair says, I like the logo on the old third jerseys, but I'm over it. One and done. Don't bring it back. Otherwise, I like the design. Talking about, was it the second one you tweeted out?
Yeah, second one. Which was, it's a nice, simple, I like that blue. I like that blue color.
I like somebody, where was that comment at? Oh, Blogger Fred again. Talking about the one with the weird red stripes on it and the plain looking jersey, the concept one. He says, I'm assuming with this one, we'd be sponsored by Bomb Pops.
That's awesome.
Pretty good.
Now you put Bomb Pops on the shoulders.
Yeah. There you go.
That'd be cool. That'd be great. Oh, that's a fantastic roller hockey team. The Bomb Pops and a big Bomb Pop logo. Oh, we were getting a team together. We're the Bomb Pops.
There you go.
Our tribals would be the push-ups.
That's man. We have a whole
ice cream
truck league.
Yeah.
Ice cream truck division. And we can play a little jingle before the game. That's awesome.
Anytime a goal scored, the bell rings.
Ding ding.
Paul
ding,
Mills
ding.
is like, yes, meh, not bad. Funny. All right, St. Louis Oilers. That was to the blue and the white and red one.
Yeah. The Houston Oilers.
Yep. That is their jersey, isn't it?
Basically, yeah.
So okay. So that was interesting. And there's been just a lot of jersey talk online lately. So
Wait, did they just show a woman breastfeeding on the Cardinals broadcast?
they might have, that it's cool to do now everywhere.
Oh, okay.
You can choose where you want. And the Cardinals just won. Is that right?
Yes.
Looks like it. Yes.
Game is over.
Man.
And I know people are listening to us for Cardinals updates of the game live. So
True story. Except for the one game I went to this year, that's the most Cardinals baseball I've watched all year.
All right. So Stan Mikita died. Blackhawks great. And while reading a few things on him, a few articles, things saying about him, Bobby Hull was mentioned, and and this is kind of random a little bit, but
before we get into that,
Yeah.
I do want to say one thing about Stan Mikita. Did you guys see the picture that was sent out of his original blade? Because he's the one that created the curve of the stick.
Yeah.
Did you see the first curve he created?
No, was it like a boomerang?
Yes. I mean, it was like, it reminded me of what are the game we used to play in gym when we were kids with the scoops and the ball.
I lie.
Yeah. Yes. Wow. How did you know that?
I know sports.
I watched
Yeah.
Nice.
Sports.
Yeah. It's in the intro to every Miami Vice episode ever.
Oh God, that's right.
That's the fastest moving ball in sports. You know that, the highlight ball. It was faster than any other ball.
It's crazy. But yeah, the curve on his stick is insane. I don't know how long he used that curve, but I mean that was something that caught my eye.
That's why goalies had to wear helmets.
Yep.
They're zipping shots over the goal. So anyway, and I'm just reading more about Bobby Hull and how, I don't know if people know this, because it's not, I mean, has it been like widely public? I guess it has, but people don't seem to care that Bobby Hull was pretty much a wife abuser.
Mm-hmm.
He abused his wife a lot. So, and I'm just curious, just real quick, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but if it happened today, would he get the Ray Rice treatment? Like, he's retired now, but if it happened today where he abused his wife or girl, is he married? I don't even know, but a wife, girlfriend, whatever he's with, if he abused her and she showed up with a black eye and he was arrested or whatever, would he be basically shut down by the Blackhawks as far as being ambassador is concerned? And would they ever unretire his jersey number? Would they ever bring it down? If he was in jail for spousal abuse, for beating up his wife.
If it happened
Today.
right.
Would they take down his jersey number?
Right.
I can see them not using him anymore for an ambassador, because he dropped the puck with Brett Hull at the Center Ice at the Winter Classic. So he was, and I remember Blackhawk bloggers being pissed off that it's like, stop using him. It's kind of an embarrassment to the organization because of what he's done. So
I would have to say no based on the evidence at hand. The evidence at hand being Patrick Kane.
See, I compare it to Ray Rice.
Maybe it's different because Patrick Kane's still playing.
Right. But Patrick Kane was never found guilty of anything, though. He was accused a few times, and we all know that he's done shit.
Right.
But nothing stuck to him.
And we just hate him here.
And we do. But in all fairness, in all fairness, he's never been found guilty of anything. So there's that. But we're talking about being found now. If Patrick Kane were to be found guilty of something, and that was like a black cloud, then I can see his number not being retired in Chicago, something like that. But what do you think, Jeff? Do you think they'd ever bring down Bobby Hull's number if something happened today? And really, what's the difference of it happening today or happening 30 years ago?
I don't think they'd ever bring down his number.
Why should it matter if it happened 30 years ago or today? Why does it matter?
As bad as it sounds, I think, and hopefully this doesn't happen, I think you'd have to have an O.J. Simpson scenario for that to happen. I don't think they'll ever unretire a number unless it's severe circumstances. But I will agree with the Blackhawks bloggers that are saying stop using him. I mean, he's a guy that you kind of just need to leave out in the cold and say, okay, I see maybe when like the Winter Classic, when they had Brett Hull and Bobby Hull come out for the puck drop, okay, maybe that, because it's, father, son, both played for rivals. But other situations, you got to stop using him. I mean, and it's not only the spousal abuse. I mean, have you ever heard a good story about the person Bobby Hull was? I've never. Brett Hull, you can make the case, okay, since he's gotten older, he's chilled out, he's not drinking all the time, he's not bad-mouthing the game, he's not talking about his old coaches. But, like, I've never heard a good story about Bobby Hull as a person.
No.
Not once.
He's also got the whole rap of abandoning his kids, basically. Wanted nothing to do with them. Which, I mean, we didn't hear about, really. But because, we've seen him around Brett Hull a lot. So I don't know if that's just PR stuff or if he just took an interest when he, realized that he was going to be a star or something. But
right, wasn't that kind of the thing? Like they were estranged, because of the way he treated his mom,
right?
And then once Brett got older and drunker, and
yeah, I don't think they would ever take down his jersey number if something like that happened today, even though they probably should. I would love to see it happen. It's not a Blues hating the Blackhawks thing. It's just a thing of what's right. You don't want to honor the guy that's kind of an asshole. You want kids to look up to that kind of guy. So, and really, it's not the end of the world. You're not taking away his records. You're not taking away his money. You're taking his jersey down from the rafters. Big fucking deal. It's an honor thing. It's not. So I don't know. They should take it down, but they won't. Like you said, Jeff, that was a good example, unless it's an OJ thing. So, all right. So Chris Pronger, speaking of numbers retiring or being lifted to the rafters and whatnot, should his number be retired?
Is he still on the payroll of the Phoenix Coyotes?
No.
I know he's in the Hockey Hall of Fame now.
Yeah.
He is not on the payroll.
All right. At this point, I think so. I mean, I'll give Jeff all the room he needs to discuss his favorite player and why his number should be retired. But at this point, I think they're probably just looking for the right opportunity and the right time to do it.
I think that was it the article you shared or the STL Blues history, the bullet points that they shared as far as Pronger reasons why Pronger should be in the Hall of Fame. I think, wrapping that in a nutshell, and you may want to go into detail on more of that, Jeff, but he's in the Hall of Fame. So if you're not going to retire a guy his number who makes the Hall of Fame and he played the majority of his career with you, whose number are you going to retire? I mean, he is the best defenseman we've ever had, in my opinion. Some folks may say McInnes, whatever, but I think it's Pronger, and I think his number should be retired.
People have said there was a couple arguments against it, and people said, okay, well, why would they retire his number if he didn't play that long here, and he didn't have that many playoff games. That's actually not true.
He played a lot here.
He played a long time here.
Yeah.
Yes, Brett Hull played more. Al McInnes played more. But he's played more than a lot of people who have been in this discussion. Keith Tkachuk being one, Pavel Demitra being another. I'm not taking anything away from those guys, but yeah, I mean, he's just been.
He played 9 seasons here.
Yeah,
that's more than that's. And the most he played anywhere else was 3 in Anaheim, 3 in Philadelphia, 1 in Edmonton, 2 in Hartford.
All-time points for the Blues. He's top 12. He was top 11 until Pietrangelo scored 2 points, and he's now 1 ahead of him. But Pronger is, I mean, like you said, the thing that STL Blues History tweeted out. I mean, you think back to that monster year he had where he took the Hart and the Norris. He's only the second player to ever win the Hart and the Norris trophy in the same season. Bobby Orr being the other. I mean, that's elite company right there. Even Nicholas Lidstrom never did that. No defenseman's finished in the top 3 Hart voting since Pronger did it in 2000. First defenseman to win the Hart since Orr in 71. I mean, I'm not going to rattle all these off. You can go find this tweet from STL Blues History, but third most playoff games in Blues franchise history, best career plus minus in Blues playoff history, youngest captain for the Blues. I mean, just an unbelievable talent. And yeah, I'm partial because Chris Pronger is my favorite all-time player, but there's a reason he's my favorite all-time player. The guy was dominant on the rink. And I've probably told this story on the show before, but my favorite Chris Pronger moment, and it's going to seem so minuscule and stupid, but it just shows the type of talent that guy had. The Blues were coming in on the power play, and Pierre Turgeon was skating right in front of Pronger. And the way they skated in, and Pronger had the puck, it would have been offside. So what does Pronger do? He doesn't dump it in. He doesn't try to give some lame little pass to Turgeon, hoping he gets it. He literally stretches and puts the puck between Turgeon's legs before he crosses the blue line to where he puts himself onside. And when he gets in the zone, he flips it back to himself, and everybody skates in and they set up for the power play. Would you, Kurt, Bill, you guys have played hockey for a long time. Would you ever even think of doing something like that?
No.
It's crazy. That's how talented he was.
Here's the deal with Pronger. To in a nutshell, he controlled the play when he was on the ice. He really did. He was such an influence on how the play went on the ice, and he controlled it. And I think few others have that I've ever seen. If not for Lidstrom, he's the best defenseman of his generation. So I think Niedermayer's up there too. But I really think that he, I mean, as great as he was, as much recognition as he gets, and he's in the Hall of Fame, I think he was underrated, to be honest. He's better than what a lot of people think he was. Watching him play for 9 seasons here, he just controlled the play like no other defenseman I've ever seen. I mean, Pietrangelo is a great defenseman. He can't touch Pronger as far as how dominant he was on the ice.
I mean, most comparable to that would be McInnes, probably, right? Like most comparable in terms of overall defensive ability and offensive ability with the puck.
And McInnes wasn't even a fantastic defender early on in his career. Here early on, he got better. It seemed like, and he got that more polished in his own.
Even when McInnes was at his best, which you could argue was the 99 season that he won the Norris.
Yeah.
Even when he was at his best, I think his best was the year Jackman won the Calder, 01, 02, whatever year that was. But even at his best, he didn't control the play like Chris Pronger did.
Right.
Pronger, when he had, that's the one player, and I still say this to this day, and I know that there was a couple times his long stretch passes resulted in turnovers, but it was rare. He is still the one player on this Blues team in the last 20 years where when he had the puck on his stick, I was calm, completely calm. Yeah. The right play is going to be made. And again, that's why he was my favorite player. he would get the puck, and I would instantly be like, if they were hemmed in their own zone, and somehow Pronger stole the puck from someone, and he took it behind his net, instantly I'd say, okay, they're good. And I've never been able to say of another player. And again, Alex Pietrangelo, Keith Tkachuk, Pavel Demitra, Al McInnes, all these other great players that the Blues have had. I've never felt the same kind of comfort I feel when Chris Pronger had the puck.
We discussed last year, we're talking about best players in the organization in the history. And I think Hull was mentioned, and you said, Jeff, Pronger was the best player the Blues ever had, bar none. Number one. So, I mean, and that's not, I mean, it's, you make very good points. I mean, it's debatable, but I mean, the fact that it's even debatable that he's the best player ever had for this organization, to me, it's a no-brainer. You retire his jersey. You don't, I mean, you look at the guys that are up there, he's better than almost everyone up there.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, okay, I'm one of those people who thinks that there are way too many people getting their jerseys retired nowadays. It's just the Canadians are ridiculous. The rings of honor in the NFL, it's getting ridiculous. But man, I that's one guy that I'm like, that you're going to retire. Well, I know Bob Gassoff was done for certain reasons, but you're going to retire Gassoff. There's been talks about retiring Jackman, which, not take anything away from Jackman. No. Well, I mean, no, they can't now because of Bob Plager.
Time to retire Jackman before Pronger. To retire Jackman at all.
Jackman doesn't need to be retired. No. Not that's a good comparison. Who said that we should retire Jackman's number?
When he retired, people said, are they going to retire his number?
Retire Jamal Mayers too.
I mean, his number is retired. Don't get me wrong. It's just not for Jackman.
Right. But let's retire Jamal Mayers. He played here for a long time too, and he was a serviceable player.
Yeah, I'm not hating on Barrett Jackman. He had a fine career. It's just
fine. But
Chris Pronger, just that guy. The way that he went about his game and about his business and led his team. Another thing that I go back to on Chris Pronger that shows the type of player he was. He had that awful injury, misses the whole year, comes back, and they say, all right, and this is how I heard the story. Maybe I'm wrong. They say, okay, Chris, here's your C back. And he said, I don't need the C. This is Al McInnes' team. I mean, he was such a humble guy, and I know that he had his way about things with the media, but he knew his place. Just an unbelievable leader for this team in every aspect. Again, you have to retire the guy's number.
I loved the fact that he was an asshole.
Yeah,
I did too.
That's what made him successful on the ice.
Yeah,
though.
Yeah, his attitude. You had to be a bastard and play that and have that style. That was, and he excelled at it. It's not, and I mean, players said all the time, cutting across the middle, going to the front of the net. They fear for their lives when he was out there. He would destroy you.
Right.
And that's a tactic that it was effective. And he did it better than most. So.
Right. And the people that attempt to compare Parayko to Pronger, that's the biggest difference. Parayko doesn't have that asshole streak in him.
No, I wish he, I mean, people do say
he needs the edge. It'd
be fun.
A bit of edge.
It'd be fun if he was a little meaner.
But don't think that Parayko's the second coming of Pronger.
No.
So,
and he's actually a very nice person, but from what I hear. But it'd be nice if he was just kind of a dick once in a while. Nice.
Yeah, just put the fear of God in him.
Sure,
just everyone.
Because he's so big, you want him to play mean, and that's why I think that's why a lot of folks want him traded, or well, not want him traded, but like suggesting the Blues trade him.
Be upset if he left.
They wouldn't be upset about because he's not playing mean enough. You got to use your size.
Right. He's
too good.
He could be Chris Pronger all over again. He's a different player. It's
a different era too.
Let him figure out how to shoot the puck at the NHL level, and he'll be fine.
Yeah, if he can get a shot on net, he'll be fine offensively. If he starts scoring a few more points, people, you don't have to be mean anymore. You're putting goals in the net. So
yeah. So a couple of thoughts in terms of why they haven't retired his number. Organizationally, the Blues don't retire numbers frequently. Like I said before, I think they're waiting for the right time. to do it. But it could also be that, there seems to be a bit of a tradition of having, being able to contact everybody that, wore the number at some point, and maybe they just can't find Mario Marois.
Mario Marois.
He was the first Blue to wear 44.
He had a great
I could make the same joke I did about Rob Ramage. They want to get Daryl Sador in, but they can't let him drive.
Jeez. What's his name? Played for the Thrashers. Had the car accident.
Oh, Danny Heatley.
Heatley.
Yeah.
Throw him in there too.
Dan Snyder.
Yep.
Sad.
It's not funny.
Yeah, it's not.
So let's go around the table here real quick. So all three of us are in agreement, right? Chris Pronger should have his number retired.
I'm a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, it is. I just don't think that the Blues are in any rush to retire another number. But he absolutely.
They don't have that many retired.
They don't, and they're not rushing to fill their rafters with numbers.
Right, I know, but
the number will be retired.
Here, who after Pronger? Who's next in line? Is there anybody?
At this point,
so I mean, it's not like they've got like 3 or 4 guys they're considering. It's like, okay, we gotta space them out here. I mean, I don't see anybody else. I mean,
Gary Unger,
he'd have had to retire by now.
Yeah, but how many people have worn 7?
Yeah,
Unger, Berenson,
Kachuk,
Wilson Emerson.
I like Nelly.
Patrick Maroon's wearing number 7 this year.
I mean,
maybe Jake Allen's next.
Yeah,
I think I think you're looking way down the road. You're looking like if Tarasenko has a nice career and I mean that's the kind of. I don't see anybody else right now off the top of my head that would.
Petro, maybe.
No.
After he retires, maybe if he has a fantastic career, the rest of his career, yeah.
If Petro leads the Blues to a cup, I think that's almost a shoe-in.
We're like 10 years away. 8, 10 years away, whatever it's going to be.
Right. So the only other one that I could possibly think of would be Pavel Demitra.
That's
more in the Bob Gassoff game.
Right, which is fine.
Demitra was an amazing player.
Yeah, and
really, became the player the great player that he was when he played here.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to retire his number? Only if they have a bad season where they need to fill seats for a game.
I wouldn't be like you said, that's a Bob Gassoff category, and I'd be fine with that. I really would be. But I don't think it should go ahead of Pronger because that was same era kind of a thing.
Right.
They were both on the same team, so I would do Pronger first, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I because if you don't retire Pronger, you've got the same numbers up there for a good 10 years now. I think if you don't do Dimitri either. So, I'm gonna go ahead and open this up for anyone listening who wants to join the show. I'll tweet out the link. There it is. So if you want to join the show and chat with us live on the air to give your 2 cents on anything we talked about or anything we've not talked about. Go ahead and go to the Twitter account at LGB Radio and just click the link and say hi. The Blues are breaking ground on the new practice facility tomorrow in Maryland Heights. It'll be the St. Louis Community Ice Center, which will be located at 750 Casino Center Drive, which is a typical fitting name. In Maryland Heights will also serve as a variety of youth, college, and amateur hockey programs upon its completion. So the facility is expected to attract more than 1 million visitors. I'm assuming they're saying per year, not like in its lifetime. That seems low.
It does.
So that's cool. That's a long time coming for that. Was it the one in Chester? Was it Chesterfield that they were?
It was the Creve Coeur one.
Creve Coeur one that the people were moronic and boycotted.
Completely
Yeah.
moronic.
They had basically had the funding in place and they were ready to dig break ground and they stopped it.
Yep, because people were afraid there's going to be too much traffic with the Creve Coeur Park.
And they were going to lose a part of their park. I'm like, the revenue, people? Okay.
Yeah, that was my point. No, this is the location's great. This is where I believe the St. Louis Football Cardinals were talking about building a stadium before it was nixed out there where the casino is now. And I mean, it's a great spot because there's not a lot of traffic out there. There's not a lot of I mean, yeah, 5 o'clock you're going to get traffic out that way. People trying to avoid the highways take 141 there, but I mean, you're going to get that everywhere at 5 o'clock in St. Louis. It's a great spot for that, and I think the attractions around it will be nice for people who are wanting to travel in. And there's a couple hotels out that way, and okay, we can go to a Blues practice if we stay here, and then we'll go to the game that night and leave. I mean, it's a great spot. And again, with them extending 141 out that way just a couple of years ago, it's really made for a nice spot, and I think it's kind of a prime location. The only thing that stinks about that spot, literally stinks about that spot, is there's a landfill right there. That's where the old Total Hockey headquarters is, and or was. And so when I used to work out there, it was there were certain days where there was a contamination or something going on, and the entire area would stink, and our entire office would just be covered in stink. That's the only bad part about it. But other than that, it's a great spot.
Sarah sent us a message in the YouTube chat. The St. Louis Community Ice Center will also be the home ice for the Lindenwood hockey team.
Yeah, what are they going to do with that Lindenwood rink they built out in Winsville?
There, got me. You can have your you can start a Ponder Cup ice tournament out there.
Yeah, an hour away from where I live. Genius. We just rename it Let's Go Blues Radio Arena.
Yeah, what would that cost?
Wait about 3 years. We'll see.
$30-$40.
Yep.
We're in. Let's see. Blues social media fails. We got a couple. One from Reddit and one from Twitter. Jeff, you want to take the one from Twitter since you edited that one?
Sure.
And I'll take the one from Reddit. All right. So the Blues social media fail from Reddit, posted by Damn it Beavis. Is it just me? Is it just me, or could the Maroon acquisition turn into a hell of a bargain? Why would it just be you? I think literally everyone thinks it's a hell of a bargain. It's like I read that, I'm like, you don't have some epiphany that no one else has actually considered. So
I think even Pat Maroon's brother is like, oh man, what a bargain for the Blues.
Damn it, Beavis. Yeah. So yeah, that was humorous. I'm like, yeah, no, you don't listen to any kind of Blues chatter at all, because you would have heard that everyone and their brother thinks this is a half price deal for the Blues.
So on Twitter, this is from Aiden Calhoun, obviously a big NHL 18 player. He posted a video of the Blues winning the Stanley Cup. And he says, hey, St. Louis Blues, got you guys something that you've waited 48 years for. And he just posted this in August. Why 48 years?
Well, wouldn't video of the Blues hosting the Cup.
Yeah, I said that.
Okay, sorry.
Why have we been just waiting 48 years? Why not the full 51 years? I mean, those first 3 years were we just kind of like, hey, we made the final. That's all that matters.
Good point. And when I watched it, I watched the video. It shows Petrangelo holding the cup up, and the first person he hands it off to, Thorburn. I'm like, that is literally the last person I think should get the cup. And that would mean that this guy who's playing this game dressed Thorburn in the Cup Finals. I'm like, yeah,
big time fan.
So big.
Don't you have like a created player that would take that spot or something?
Yeah. So I thought that was funny. I'm like, oh, who's getting the cup first? Thorburn. What? All right. Wait. Why is Thorburn even playing? That's Funny stuff. Our next show, we don't know when our next show is going to be, but the summer interview series. What do you got, Jeff? Coming up? You said, is this old?
Likely smashing Gene Ackman, not Gene Hackman. Gene Ackman. Maybe might have Lance on there as well. Do a little dual show there as we did with Jason Martin and Joe Fresta. But yeah, we've doing pretty well, I think. Kurt, we kind of talk about the listenership, and I kind of said at the beginning of the summer that I only continue to do it if we got the listens, and it seems like people are enjoying it. So I have too. So we're going to keep going until training camp starts.
Yeah, I share the listener numbers with you guys, and 10 days ago or a week ago, and pretty much over the past 10 days, we've been hitting over 2,000 listens a day, which is ridiculous compared to what we've been doing like 2 seasons ago. It was we'd get 125 a day, and we'd do 800, 900. We'd push 1,000 a week. We'd be ecstatic, and now we're getting over twice that a day. So
I mean, part of that's that the podcasts are growing. More people are discovering it, but obviously we're doing something right, guys. I don't know why that is, because
you've had some good interviews, and I think word's spreading. People are listening and enjoying it. So I hope they're enjoying it. So that, I mean, the listeners, the numbers say they are, I guess. So
yeah, I mean, as I said at the beginning of the show, it's been fun for me. I'm doing it because I enjoy it, not because these people are begging to come on or something. I mean, it's something I'm setting up, and I've just been amazed at how gracious some of these people have been. Donnie Fandango was ecstatic about coming on, and I got another guest coming on in a couple weeks, a pretty big name that I talked to recently, and he is super excited about coming on. So I mean, it's cool to see that these people, I'm not bothering them. Sometimes I feel like when we've had people on, we've kind of said, would you mind please sparing a couple of minutes to talk to us about whatever situation? These people are excited about coming on. They want to come on. Many of them I've talked for over an hour with them. It's been awesome. So we're going to continue it. As I said, we've got a couple pretty good guests lined up for the rest of the summer. But I want to put out there too, I haven't actually said this. If there's somebody that you want to hear me interview, if you have a suggestion of somebody, whether it's a Twitter person, a broadcaster, a writer, if you want to know more about a person, go ahead and tweet me at jponder94. I'll try to get that person on. Tag that person too, so they feel a little pressure. No, but seriously, go ahead and
Twitter them into speaking with Jeff.
Exactly. Yeah, you must talk to Jeff Ponder. No, why? But no, yeah, I think that's a good idea. Anyone has any suggestions? As I said, we're kind of getting down to the stretch run here until training camp starts. So I've only got a couple weeks left. As I said, I got a fair amount of people already lined up. But if it's somebody I haven't thought about that I haven't contacted yet, might be worth looking into.
Cool. Yeah, so I think I don't think we have anybody that's gonna join. We got a number of listeners here I can see on the analytics, but folks are just content listening, I guess.
We're just so good. They just want to hear us talk. And look at Bill. I know I like looking at Bill.
Who doesn't?
Getting uncomfortable here.
How you doing?
No, that's not even, don't even, no. No, thank you. Okay. Well, that will do it for, I think, no more tweets. Yeah, we're done with tweets. That'll do it for this week's episode of Let's Go Blues Radio. For Jeff Ponder, Bill Day, I'm Kurt Price. That will conclude this week's broadcast of Let's Go Blues Radio. Until next time, everyone, let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go.
The Chiefs are at home tonight against Cyanosport at the War Memorial at 8. Good seats are still available.
A look at fourth.
I think that went very well.
Thank you for listening to Let's Go Blues Radio. Now take off, hosers.
Well, there's 90 minutes of your life you'll never get back. Sorry.
St. Louis Blues, St. Louis Blues. Have you heard the news about our St. Louis Blues? They've only just begun, they're on their way to #1. Now there's no more blues for our St. Louis Blues. The Blues are on the